Imagine you're swimming underwater.
Right.
You hold your breath.
Right.
I mean, it's necessary. It's what keeps you safe.
Yeah, of course.
But imagine you finally break the surface, you step out onto dry land, and you keep holding your breath.
Until you're turning blue.
Exactly. You're turning blue, but you're absolutely terrified that if you exhale, like the oxygen will just disappear.
Wow, yeah.
That's the image we're working with today in this deep dive. We are exploring a really fascinating stack of clinical research and excerpts from the Mindful Wallet.
Right, to analyze what they call the money miser.
Yes. Our mission today is to unpack the psychology and the psychopathology behind why some people are physically terrified to spend money.
And, how that actually differs from just healthy saving.
Right. And crucially, when this behavior crosses the line into a crisis that, well, requires professional help.
Because the difference between a temporary, necessary restriction and a permanent, paralyzing fear is stark. Society often really struggles to tell the difference, between being financially responsible and just being trapped by fear.
Right, because frugality is so often praised.
Right.
But there's a difference, right? Frugality feels like dieting for your financial health. You're making a conscious choice.
Yeah, it's intentional.
But being a miser feels more like, it's like starving yourself out of pure terror.
That's exactly it. Frugality is value-driven.
Yeah.
You restrict spending in one area so you can maximize value in something you, actually care about.
Right.
But the miser script is entirely driven by fear, and it goes far beyond just a quirky personality trait. We are talking about deep neurobiology.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, when someone with this condition looks at a price tag, there is a literal turf war happening in their brain.
A turf war. Wait, so what's actually happening in that moment? Because most people just feel, a little pinch when they buy something expensive.
Yeah.
But the research highlights this battle between the nucleus accumbens and the anterior insula.
Right. So think of the nucleus accumbens as your brain's reward center. It lights up when you see something you want. In a healthy brain, that desire is balanced against the anterior insula, which is the brain's center for processing physical pain and disgust.
Disgust, really?
Yeah. So when you hand over your credit card, your anterior insula registers a mild ouch. But for a miser, that anterior insula just completely hijacks the system.
Oh, I see.
Spending money doesn't just make them anxious. It triggers a somatic distress, like a visceral bodily reaction that literally causes them physical pain.
That is wild. If spending causes them actual physical distress, it's like their brain's check engine light is just permanently stuck on.
That is a perfect way to describe it.
Yeah.
And the mechanism behind that stuck light usually traces back to early childhood financial scarcity.
Oh, right.
If you grow up in an impoverished, unpredictable environment, your amygdala, the brain's threat detection alarm, it becomes hyperactivated.
So it hardwires the brain to assume danger is just always present.
Exactly. Even decades later, when their bank account is totally full, that amygdala is still misfiring. It's telling them they are just one purchase away from ruin.
So that physical pain explains the immediate reaction to a price tag. But how does someone live with that permanently?
It's incredibly difficult.
The sources connect this extreme miserliness to obsessive-compulsive personality disorder, OCPD, and hoarding disorder.
Yeah, and the bridge connecting that scarcity trauma to those clinical disorders is an absolute intolerance of uncertainty.
Right.
For the miser, the future isn't some exciting opportunity. It's an endless landscape of potential catastrophes.
So hoarding wealth, never letting a single dollar go, becomes their psychological mechanism to assert control.
Total control over a world they find terrifyingly unpredictable, yes.
But wait, if they are hoarding and restricting their lives so severely, don't they look around and realize they have a problem?
Well, no. And this brings in the clinical term egosyntonic.
Egosyntonic.
Right. Unlike someone with a phobia who, knows their fear is irrational, misers view their extreme restriction as a logical virtue. Because the behavior aligns with their ego and their worldview, they think they're the only ones acting rationally in a careless, spendthrift world.
So they don't see a pathology at all. They just see themselves as smart.
Exactly.
But wait, our whole culture reinforces that. We're constantly told, a penny saved is a penny earned.
We do. We idolize people who aggressively save.
So where exactly does responsible saving end and this psychological crisis begin?
The definitive line is self-harm.
Self-harm.
Yes. The red flags appear when the behavior actively degrades a person's physical or emotional well-being.
Like the research mentions things like skipping essential medical or dental care just to avoid the copay.
Yeah, or enduring a dangerous heat wave without turning on the air conditioning.
Right.
or living in a totally dilapidated, unsafe house when they easily have the means to repair it. It's the point where saving destroys relationships, isolates them, and completely eradicates joy.
So when accumulated wealth brings zero comfort.
Exactly. When the anxiety of spending paralyzes his daily life, they've entered the danger zone. That is the critical moment when professional help is absolutely required.
To reteach the nervous system that it is safe to let go.
Yes, exactly.
Because money is ultimately meant to be a tool to support your well-being, right? Not a master built on fear.
hmm
It's about recognizing when you aren't underwater anymore, so you can finally stop holding your breath.
And learning that, spending a little on your health or comfort isn't a threat to your survival.
Which leaves you with this final thought to chew on. If the ultimate goal of building wealth is to find security, how secure are you, really, if your own savings account becomes a source of endless anxiety?